Let me see if we are all here. Akiko is doing 2 functions today. Thank you, Akiko, for that.
Sure. Thank you for letting me challenging for that.
Oh, thank you so much. João is from Campinas. I'm from Campinas as well.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, I got the link in my club WhatsApp group, and I'm doing nothing, so but it's a pleasure to be here. Not because I'm doing nothing, it's because I came to really to appreciate your meeting.
Oh, thank you, João. I miss Campinas, so I'm glad to feel it.
So you are from Campinas Club or
Yes.
Campinas City?
Yeah. You are from Campinas as well, or you just live there?
Yeah, actually I'm from Paulínia, with a city nearby.
Paulínia,
but
I have studied there. Yes,
yeah? Cool.
Yes, I've just in CEMAP.
Oh, really?
Guys, sorry.
I'm from Tepe, you know.
Cool.
So where do you live right now?
In Brasília.
Brasília, no,
because of
cool.
that time. Yes, I live in Brasília now.
Oh.
Hello, Alessandro, our Toastmasters.
Hello everyone. Good evening. How are you doing? It's a pleasure to have you all here. I was just finishing some things here to start our meeting. I'd like to know if you have any guests that are not from Toastmasters Club. I see here Ricardo Costa, Arthur Andrade. I'm not sure if they are from Toastmasters.
Hi. Yeah, no. I just found you. I just found the link at Simpla, and I thought that I would like to take a look.
Welcome. I'm going to make a small presentation about Toastmasters, and soon we'll begin our meeting. And I'd like now to just start sharing my screen. And as Aletheia mentioned before, thank you so much for our guests who are helping us tonight. It's really a pleasure to have this opportunity online because we can have people from all around the world to join our club, and we can join them as well. And for those of you who doesn't know Toastmasters, okay, let me just finish here. I'd like just to first say some meeting guides for you. I'd like to invite everyone to mute your microphone now so we can have a smooth meeting. Tonight, we're going to have a presentation from a guest, Ricardo. And doing his speech is really nice to pay attention for that. And leaving the microphone off is a great way to have everyone really pay attention for him. We do use here applause and sign language. So every time that you pass the word for someone, or when someone finishes his speech or her speech, we applaud with sign language to help them understand that we are congratulations them. Try to use the word of the day. Our grammar is going to share the word soon. And the idea is to implement that word as an improvisation during your speech or some part of your participation in this meeting if you are invited to speak. We always give a thumbs up for those people that use the word of the night during the meeting. So if every time that you heard the word, you just give a thumbs up, or you can use the reaction here in Zoom to recognize that person that used the word for this evening. Our guest, Ricardo, and the speakers that are going to use the word during the tabletop session, remind to pin the timer. The timer tonight is Aletheia. Soon I'm going to present her. And to our guests and friends here, we keep our meeting recorded to YouTube because we let our speakers review their participation here. We don't use this for commercial use, so if you don't feel comfortable share your screen, you can just turn off your video, but you can keep participating in our meeting. But we always invite everyone to keep the video on so you can see you can feel that we are together here, and feel free to ask if you have any questions during our break or after the meeting. And for the guests here, don't worry, because it's not mandatory for you to speak. If it's your first time in the Toastmasters meeting, for many of you, we know that the fear of public speaking is really strong for most people. So you can just be here as a listener and to learn more about this program and to learn more about how a Toastmasters meeting runs. After the meeting, we are going to open a question and answers part for you. And if you are Portuguese or Brazilian, you can do that your questions in Portuguese. We do have meetings in English and Portuguese here in Toastmasters, in Brasília Toastmasters. And tonight is one of the English meetings. Our club mission here in Brasília Toastmasters is to develop public speaking and leadership skills through active participation, inclusive experience, and continuous learning. The idea is that we have recurring meetings like this one, and our members can participate at every meeting so they can improve every time they participate. They can improve delivering speech, as Ricardo is going to deliver tonight. You can improve giving feedback, as we have evaluators tonight. You can improve your leadership in a small scales using the timer role, the Toastmaster role, as I have tonight, or any different roles that we have in a club in Toastmasters. I hope that you have a small glance of this huge educational opportunity that we are knowing tonight. For you to understand how strong Toastmasters is today and how large we are around the world, we are a non-profit organization, as I mentioned before, that delivers participation to improve skills for communication and leadership. How can we learn leadership? We have, as I mentioned, roles in the meeting, and we have club roles. You can be the director of the club. I'm the president right now for the Brasília Toastmasters Club until July 21st. You can be responsible for the educational program for 1 year. You can be public relations responsible for 1 year. If you want, you can even participate in the national organization of Toastmasters. And if you work hard, you can even participate in the international organization. All of this we do because we believe we can have great joy and learn experience from that. We are not paid to do this, and we are here because we want to share with you what we think is a great opportunity to learn and grow together. Toastmasters this is outdated. Toastmasters now are in 145 countries. So we have Toastmasters Club in all of the continents of the world. We have more than 16,000 clubs around all these countries, and we have today almost 317,000 members spread around the globe. Toastmasters in Brazil is still small, but we count with you to understand how this can be great for you and your friends and your co-worker friends, and share that with them. For you to understand how Toastmasters can touch different persons, we have great in many corporate clubs. All of these companies is a small idea of companies that they sponsor Toastmasters clubs inside of them for their employees. They know the importance of great communication, and they know that people that can communicate better many times become better leaders. So companies like Dell, Apple, Toastmasters, Disney, Google, Facebook, all of them have Toastmasters Club inside of them, especially for their employees. So different from Brasília Toastmasters and many of the clubs in Brazil, we have community clubs like this one that you can join anytime that you want as a guest. And if you want, you can become a part of our club and become a member and enjoy the full program of Toastmasters. was, like I mentioned, was a small piece of idea of Toastmasters International. If you have any questions, you can drop that in the chat during the meeting, or after the meeting, you can join us here and open your microphone and leave your question. It is going to be a pleasure to help you understand better about our club and about Toastmasters. Or if you have any questions about any of these roles that I'm going to share with you right now. This brief introduction is done every time that we have guests in the meeting. And now we are going to start the meeting itself. Today, I'm going to be the Toastmasters. The Toastmaster of the evening is the person responsible to guide you during the presentation at every meeting. This role, as any of these that you're going to see, they are rotative. So every meeting we have different people perform these roles because we can improve different guests and different members during that. Tonight we have Aletheia Mello as our timer, and I'd like to invite Aletheia just to share with us, Aletheia, how we are going to show the time for Ricardo, our guest speaker, and our tabletop speaker. Please welcome Aletheia.
Hello, 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 Toastmasters. Hello, guests. Today, as a timer, my role is remind all speakers how much time they are spending on their speakers. So I will show, let me see. I will show the green background when the time is finished, yellow in the middle, and red when it is the timer load is finished. Today we have one speaker, so he has between 5 to 7 minutes to deliver it, and we have the table talks, and all are between 1 and 2 minutes to deliver it. So thank you all. Back to you, Alessandro.
Okay, thank you, Aletheia. Thanks so much. The timer role is really important to our speakers to understand how they perform when they prepare in their house or their work, when they are just just trying to do the speech before the meeting. So during the meeting, when she's sure the time, he should understand when he has to close the speech. And we have tonight our accountant and grammarian, Akiko Yamagami. Thank you so much, Akiko. The accountant role for those that are starting Toastmasters and our guests, I think is one of the most important roles because Akiko is taking notes about the filler words, words that we don't have to use during speech and presentation, and like a, when you can just have a pause and think about what you want to say. Sometimes and many times people just use filler words. So try to make pause. Akiko is taking note of that, so can share that with our speakers later, and they can improve. I think this is great, important for the newer members in Toastmasters because many of them soon realize they have a lot of filler words. So with 2 months of practice, they can improve a lot. And the grammarian is responsible to share with us the great use of the language. Tonight is taking notes about the great use of the English language or pointing out some bad use of that. The idea is to improve not only our vocabulary, but the great use of the language itself. We have grammarian in Portuguese meetings as well. Soon I'm going to share with you the word of the night, and I invite Akiko to explain for you that word. We have tonight one of the most fun part of our meeting is the second part of the meeting, and this part maybe you guests can join if you want. Luzia Mott is our guest, and she is delivering the part of the tabletop session. The idea here is to have small speeches. All of them are improvisation because you're going to know the theme of the speech just before your speech. So this is a great way to make you think fast and make great ideas have meaning for someone between 1 and 2 minutes. So in the right time, I'm going to invite Luisa to explain to us the theme of this tabletop session. And as Aleté mentioned before, we have our special guest. Now he is in Portugal. Rui Henriques is our general evaluator. He is responsible to know how the meeting is handled. As I said before, Toastmasters is always about feedback. How can we improve? And have a great meeting is a great way to have happy guests and happy members. Who is going to evaluate? Our evaluator either, because they need to improve their evaluator skills, because with that, they can give better feedback to speakers. Thank you, Rui, for your participation. And I'm going to invite Rui at the end of the meeting to perform his role. And just to keep you with the agenda tonight, I'm just pasting here the link for our agenda. And now I'd like to invite Akiko Yamagami, our grammarian, to introduce for you the word of the night. Please help me welcome Akiko, our accountant and grammarian for this evening.
Thank you, Toastmasters. And good evening, fellow Toastmasters and our guests. So for today's meeting, the word is bodacious. Bodacious, which means excellent, admirable, or attractive. Audacious, in a way considered admirable, while this word is often used to describe a body's curves. Bodacious can also be used to describe something that is remarkable or admirable. For example, 1. A person might have a bodacious energy. 2. A home might have bodacious decor. 3. An English Brasília Toastmasters meeting is a bodacious challenge for all of us. Each speaker is encouraged to use the word of the day. I'll give the grammarian report when called on during the meeting, and also report on the usage of the word of the day. Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Back to you.
You are mute, Ale.
Oh, I'm muted. Now I'm muted. Thank you so much, Akiko. Thank you. I said that I really like the word of this meeting because one of the mentors that I have, he always says that we have to have bodacious goals. He mentions all of the time Obama, the past president of the United States, when he was almost a teenager in the university. I think he was 17 old. And he mentioned with some friend that one day he would be the first Black president of the United States. So the idea is to have bodacious goals to make your mind dream about what you can achieve. So this is a great word. Congratulations for the choice of this one, Akiko. And now for our first part of the meeting, we have our prepared speech. And this presentation is going to be shared with us from Ricardo Ponzoni, our guest. He is developing a path that is called Dynamic Leadership. And the project that he's sharing is introducing to Toastmaster mentoring. And the object here is to share how Ricardo has worked with a mentor, or how was his experience as a mentor, or his experience as a mentee. The idea here is to make him understand the importance of being a mentor, because we have mentors in Toastmasters Club that can help our members improve. So Ricardo is sharing with us one of these ideas tonight. He is going to be evaluated by Vanessa Santos, our member here in Brazil Toastmasters, and with the title of Make It Official, Ricardo Ponzoni, Make It Official. The floor is yours, Ricardo.
We have always looked for someone to follow. You might not think that way, but we have. Since very young, we have the ones we admire. Maybe an older brother, maybe a professor, maybe a cousin or an uncle, or even a rock star that we would like to be like, or that we would like to follow. we tend to follow the ones that have dealt with the problems we have to deal today. It's natural. We live in societies, and that's something that the human being has developed. So when you see for the first time mentoring as a structured thing is when you are working. When you get inside a company or in Toastmasters or fostered by a coaching program that you're going through, then is the first time we see the mentoring as a thing. Sadly, it's very rare to see it spontaneously by the people. In my personal case, the first time I had this experience with mentoring was with Toastmasters. When I got in Toastmasters, I had this thing called my mentor. Julian was a former member of Toastmasters, Vila Olímpia Toastmasters, and he was my mentor. I have to confess to you that in the beginning, I was not understanding pretty well what was happening. Why was he spending his time with me? You know, I was kind of, okay, thank you, but what are you gaining with that? I know that Toastmaster has a lot of complicated in the beginning, like pathways and easy speak, and you have speeches and roles in the meetings. It's very helpful to have a mentor. But also, he began to be my mentor in other ways outside Toastmasters. And now we are friends, and we do keep in contact until today. So this thing is very interesting. Why? Because I now am a mentor in Toastmaster. I have 4 mentees in Toastmasters in Vila Olímpia, and one of them is my former boss. And this was a pretty interesting situation. I was the mentor of my boss. And now I got, why is my former mentor spending time with me? The answer is, you're not spending time, you're investing time. You are learning with your mentee. You're getting information. You are learning with the doubts that this person has. It's pretty interesting experience for the mentor and for the mentee. Not only for us that want to have a mentor, but also for the mentor. It's a very interesting thing to do. It's amazing. Still, what is the relation about this thing I'm talking to you about my experience, about mentoring, and the title of this speech? What is the relation between make it official with all this thing I have already talked to you? The concept I want to highlight this evening is that we have lost a lot of bodacious and fruitful experience during our lives. Imagine with me by a second, when you got into university, pretty new world, new things, new people, new situations. Imagine if you have asked an older student or a professor to be your mentor, officializing this thing with him. Hey, could you be my mentor? I don't know pretty much how to study for exams. I don't know how to go to the buildings of the university. I cannot understand the exams. Can you help me? Can you be my mentor during this period? I'm sure that the person would be glad to do it. Or even your parents, officially asking them to help you with a situation or a period of time would make them extremely proud to be officially your mentor. In other situation, you might like sports. Have you ever imagined to ask someone in sports that you like to practice to be your mentor, to help you develop a better skill, to help you to overcome your challenges? Or even Toastmasters. Toastmasters, when you start, you're supposed to have a mentor. But don't forget, you can ask any other member from any other club to be your mentor in Toastmasters, to help you develop your skills, to go on learning. And this is the great thing about mentoring. Both sides learn, both sides have a great experience. And it's a unique experience for both. And one thing I want to highlight and conclude my speech, mentoring is free. We only have to make it official and ask for it. It could be a great experience for both the mentee and the mentor. And that's the thing I want to highlight with you. Make it official. Remember to ask for a mentor. Whenever you think you need a mentoring, ask for it and go on. You won't regret this attitude. Thank you very much.
Okay, congratulations, Ricardo. Amazing speech. I always love to hear the speech like yours as the Toastmasters mentee experience, because everyone that go through that experience for the first time has different point of view, and the one that you share that going to be mentee of your boss, this is really interesting and fun, I believe. Congratulations, amazing, amazing speech. Now I would like to invite everyone to just drop a couple words for Ricardo in our form. I just pasted the link in our chat here in Zoom, and I give you 1 minute to click that and choose Ricardo's name and give feedback for him. If you want and feel better, you can write in Portuguese, no problem at all. The idea is our guests can share your feedback either, because you can share ideas of what you like or what you didn't like. Ricardo is ready to reach all of this feedback and make better improvement for the next speech that he's delivering. So 1 minute for this feedback.
One minute's passed. Ale.
Okay, thank you, Oratória. As I mentioned tonight, we have only one prepared speech. Ricardo was this great, amazing speech. And now, usually we have our break. But this meeting short, I think we can skip that of our report from the timer. Please, Oratória, share with us the timer of Ricardo's speech.
Hello again, Ricardo, congrats. Your speech was amazing, and you have done it in 5 minutes and 47 seconds. Congrats. You had between 5 and 7 minutes, so congrats again.
Okay. Thank you, Oratória. Thank you so much. As I mentioned before, usually we have a break, but I think this meeting can go now together. Just pass to the second part of the meeting because this is shorter. So I'm going to skip this and we can talk with the guests, as I mentioned in the beginning, after the break, after our end of the meeting. And now I do believe we have plenty of time to Luzia Mota share with us her idea of our table topic session tonight. I don't know what she has prepared, and I'm really curious to do this part of the meeting, and I handle the word for you, Luzia. Thank you so much again. The floor is yours. Please help me welcome Luzia Mota, our table topics master for this evening.
Thank you very much, Alessandro. The minimum I expect for these table topics is to be bodacious. So I decided to bring today a very easy topic. And I know there is different ways to conduct this part of the meeting. The way I like to do this is I will share with you what will be the theme, the main idea of these table topics, and then I will ask to who is interested to answer my questions about this subject. So the people can raise the hand and I will be conducting. And after everybody that volunteer to talk is finished, then I will start to point my finger and invite people, okay? So I'd like to say to the guests that all of them are very welcome. We know is in English, so we have different levels of the language, but the idea here is to feel that sensation, the butterflies in your stomach, and be courageous and try to speak for 1 until 2 minutes. So I will share here, and I expect to see some volunteers, please. As we are still in October, I bring the idea of talk about our childhood. So all of us have some stories and memories, and if you don't have something specific for that question, you can always create some innovative story. Don't need to be a true story. So let me just try to see everybody here, or maybe if who interested in start this can open the microphone, it will be easier, as I cannot see everybody here in the picture. Sorry.
Lucy, you can click in the top of the Zoom. You have the participant there, so you can see all of them. You just pick someone.
Come on, guys. I want to give you some freedom. Nobody wants to start?
I unmuted my microphone.
Okay, perfect, Vanessa. So, Vanessa, I would like you to talk about, did you have any pets when we were a kid, or if you didn't have, would you like to, or something related to the pets in your childhood?
Okay, in my family, we always had animals. My parents nowadays have, I believe, 9 dogs and 5 cats. They live in a ranch, so they have space to do it. And they raise cows, they raise cattle. I remember that we had a dog called Lion. And when I was very little, I used to think that he was the same size as the refrigerator. And now I remember that. and I usually laugh about it. And another memory related to animals that I cherish is a bunny that I got from my uncle. But when I used to say that I wanted a bunny, but I didn't know exactly how they looked like when they were a cup. So when it arrived, it was in a wooden box, and I thought it was a rat. I didn't recognize, because they aren't born beautiful and fluffy. They are born hairless. So it was very young, and it arrived. I thought, what is this? Is this a mouse? I don't know what is this. And then he said it was a bunny, and I was super happy, and I loved it very much. And now we have all these dogs, and there is a special one that I like. Every time I go there, she tries to get into the house to play with me, and she's a very big dog. So that's it. That's my memories with animals since the childhood.
Thanks, Vanessa. It was an amazing story, and the subject was exactly for you, so really nice to hear. Who will be the next one, please? You should choose now, because it will be difficult after that. No one, I can't believe.
I can go.
Excellent.
Lucia, if no one wants to go, I'm here.
Okay. So, Alessandro, please, could you tell us about your friends, your gang, the people that you used to play when you were a child?
Okay, thank you so much. This is a fun question because I always have difficulty to understand what was a best friend. The best friend is the one that I like most or the one that I play most together. I had different friends in my childhood, and many of them I remember when I was really a young kid here in the street that I live, and to have many great friends. When I joined school, I have some friends that was not here near to my school, and sometimes I went to their house and I met their mom, their father, and we have great time listening to music. But back in school, one day I have a great girlfriend, a girl that was a great friend of mine. She was 3 years younger than me, and I had her like a sister. I really, really love her as a friend, and I would like to take care of her. And that friend that was the one that I went to his house was my best male friend. And that guy tried to hit on my friend, on my girlfriend, and I was really upset because I would like to take care of her, and I knew that he wasn't so good with his mind with her because she was younger than us. And we almost have a fight about that because I said to him, Luis, if you go for Amanda, I'm going to tell her what is your ideas for her. And I know that you got a great guy now, and he was mad with me. And I even talked to her about him. That didn't make no sense. They get together anyway. I almost lost 2 friends in a row. But after that, we still have friends. I still love them. They are great friends, but are not together. And that was one of my experiences as best friends. And another one, just to finish, is that I have one guy that was really scared about him when I was younger. He was strange. He has a huge scar in his face because a dog bit him, and he was like a bully. But as time passed, 2 years after that, when he was in the almost in the college, we become best friends for years. And still today, he is one of my best friends. We talk in a while, and it's fun how life make that happen. Thank you. Thank you, Lucia.
Thank you. Great story, Alessandro. Now, if we don't have somebody available, I will invite João from Campinas. You can go, João?
Yes, I can go, of course.
Perfect. Okay. So, João, please, could you talk about some toy that you had when you were small and you still remember, or something like this, please?
Okay, of course. When I was young, I used to have many toys. I wasn't the type of guy who was playing with cars. You know, many of my friends who were boys, they were playing with toys. I played with action figures. Like I remember, like it was today, when my mom come back to work, and when she brought me, usually like once a week, she bring me this action figure. It was really cheap one from the Chinese store, but I loved that much. And I stayed like, I remember playing hours and hours with them. Like we have a bunch of story that it didn't finish in the day, like it has seasons. Like tomorrow is season 2, season 3. So the story continued, and it was really, I remember losing like hours and hours. I can't imagine doing this today because we have our phones, we have everything like apps, the internet. Like I can't imagine spending that money time like without something like a phone. So it really touched me right now because it was many hours. I still remember the name of the action figures. And childhood is a good thing. Like looking back then, I had a lot of fun with my action figures while my other friends were playing with cars. I don't like cars. I didn't like cars at all. And I thought that I would never drive a car because I didn't like cars. But eventually I had to learn to how to drive. So back to you, Mr. Toastmaster. Thank you. No, not Toastmaster, Tabletop Masters.
Thanks, João. Great story about action figures. I remember I had one, of course, was not the official one, Power Ranger, the red one. And I remember there was the only one that I had, but I played a lot with this as well. So who wants to talk right now? Let me see. Maybe Dona Neves, would you like to participate?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Let's see. I really love this movie. I didn't watch a lot of movies when I was a kid. We didn't have television for a long time. So normally I know the movies that are now for the kids. So to encourage you to talk us about the movie, please could you share what can be old, can be new?
That's an interesting question. Well, yeah, I think actually my favorite movies, it was more than one, but I'd say Disney movies like Cinderella and all those princess type of movies were definitely my favorite. And I think because of the fairy tale, and then when I was a little girl, was growing up, you know, I had all this imagination about love and everything. So watching those movies would give me a big picture. How could it be down the road or in the future, just how it'll be for me, or, you know, just living in a fairy tale. So yeah, for sure, Cinderella. What else? I forgot the name in English of Branca de Neve, but definitely all those Disney movies. Yeah, that's it.
Thank you. That's great. I guess is White Snow, I guess. Branca de Neve.
White Snow. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
That's
excellent. Okay. Maybe now I can invite a guest, maybe Arthur Andrade. Would you like to participate?
Sure.
Great. Okay, so thinking about this school, what was your favorite class or teacher or subject? Please tell us about this.
Okay. So my favorite class or subject at school, well, you know, I've been a nerd since the beginning of time, and well, I did like every subject besides physical education, which is which is the stereotype for the nerd. But as for a favorite, most liked favorite subject, that would be Portuguese for me. This was the subject that I loved because I always loved to read and to explore language, write poetry and everything else. So this was the most my most favorite subject. I remember that usually I was one of the most participative students in class for Portuguese, and well, my passion in language actually brought me to to learn other languages as well, English, for example, but not really English at that time, but Latin and Greek. So this, this just diverted to this topic. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Amazing story. I guess all the questions are going to the right people. So I will try to, let me see. Who else would you like to participate? Come on. Maybe our accountant, would you like to participate in the prompt speech?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't think I can't say no.
Okay, so please, could you tell us about one specific or how used to be your birthday parties?
Okay, I now hit on my mind is my 9 years old birthday party of my party. And I was in Japan. So to those who meet me for the first time tonight, I'm Japanese. I came from Japan to Brazil 4 years ago. So when I was a kid, I was, of course, living in Japan. And then why I remember the 9 years old birthday party the most vividly was because my mom prepared for me hamburgers. For me, back then, like early 90s, in Japan, of course, Japan had developed already, but for me, living in a countryside and now farm family, hamburger is kind of something I was dream of, and I was so proud to having offering the hamburgers to my friend, and I was still remember it was just now I look back myself almost 20 years ago. I was kind of innocent, and then I regret I became too much farther from them now because Anyway, thank you for asking me.
Oh, it was great. I'm feeling like I grew up in the countryside as well, and I know how sometimes some things that for the city people are like normal, and for the countryside is a big deal, and it goes in our minds like forever. So great to hear you.
Thank you so much.
Now I would like to invite Fabia. Do you want to participate, Fabia?
Yeah, sure. Hi, thank you.
Okay, let me see what question will answer to us. Okay, did you have brothers, sisters, cousin, histories, people from your family?
Oh yeah, I have one brother and one sister. They are younger than me. My sister, she is 5 years younger than me, and my brother 4 years younger than me. And one of the things that I remember, it's like the way we played, because as my sister, she was the youngest, let's say, she was always like teasing us to play with her, and all the time, okay, you don't play with me, you don't like me anymore, you hate me, I think you too hate me. So we developed something in order for her to feel more like included in our play groups and all that stuff. And then that's when we decided to play like as we are kind of let's say a bank. So I was the president of the bank. My brother, he was a kind of the guy, the commercial director of the bank, and my sister, she was the client assistant to our customers, the customer, let's say, assistant. And it was so funny because she didn't understand what's going on, but she did it, and we had a lot of fun. So this is the way that we found to let's say, to make her to start stop teasing us all the time, to play with us. And for some time she enjoyed it, of course, but then she was, this play is so boring. Okay, you don't have to invite me to play with you anymore. That's okay. So problem solved.
Excellent way to include her and makes her realize that she didn't want to play with you anymore. Very nice, very nice. Okay, who else? Maybe somebody that is not with the camera open, want to join to talk about? No? So Ricardo, maybe you can participate? Okay. So Ricardo, please tell us if you are the kind of kid that prefer to stay inside your home playing video games or something else, or if you prefer to play outside.
Good. It's a pretty interesting question because I'm from the city of Blumenau in south of Brazil. And my parents used to have a house in the countryside. So obviously when we used to go there in the weekends, I was playing outside. But during the weeks, I was living downtown of the city, so it was not something feasible to go to the streets and play with something. Or even our neighbors, we were gonna play in the hall of the building and there was no place to play with them. So I used to play in the school with my friends and maybe go to their house, but we used to play inside houses. So yes and no, yes, during the weekends, for sure. I was outside of the house with the animals and the woods, but during the week it was pretty city and in-house playing. So I enjoy both and I had to do both in different times. So I don't think that many people have these because sometimes they all have only inside and people from the city actually, or maybe all from the outside, people from the countryside. So I had to see both and I enjoy both in different ways. Thank you.
That's the best way. You had chance to enjoy the best part of each one and not never get boring about any of one. That's great. Okay, some of Ricardo Costa, maybe you'd like to participate? Or another one that is on the phone? Bruno Moraes, talvez. Maybe, sorry. Okay, guys, we just have one or two more, please. I will invite our timer. So I will keep your time, Aletheia, and you can participate, okay?
I'm nervous, you know. But I already see Alessandro laughing because he knows that I feel so nervous. But it's okay. I will try it.
That is the right place to try new things, you know that.
Exactly. We are here for that.
Just 1 second here. I will open the timer first.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. So let me see.
An easy one, please. I know you are kind.
It's very easy. What would you like to be when you grew up? What was your dream? Just give me 1 second to start the timer here. Okay.
Let me start my time. So when I was almost 5 or 6 years, I always tried to help my sister with her homework. So I always thought I will be a teacher, of course, because I like teach someone, etc. So when I was almost 10, I desisted because I feel some teachers of mine, and I think they have a hard life doing it, and without nothing, without money, without car, in my mind, oh my God, it's a poor life. So I changed my idea and I decided to be biology. And when I was almost 15, I discovered that I don't like any insects. So I desisted. I don't know if this word exists. So in the end, I decided to be an economic. So I grew up thinking in many things to do, and I did something completely different. So thank you, Lucia, for your question. Thank you all for your patience.
Thanks, Aletheia. Great story. Yes, I probably there's a lot of people that change their minds when they grew up and start to pay their bills and this kind of thing. So yes. Okay, I guess we have one. Oh no, I thought it was one more, but it's finished. Thank you for everybody that participated. For me, it was a mix of feelings, happy and emotional, and great stories. You are great storytellers. I guess that's not a word, but anyway, thank you for having me. And back to you, Toastmaster Alessandro.
Okay, Lucia, thank you so much. That was amazing. Talking about childhood is always fun and great way to learn more about people in a different way. Talking about childhood sometimes really relief. So that was amazing. I forgot to mention, guys and girls here, that Lucia is from Del Club in Brazil, and Del is almost 13 years old. It was the first club in Brazil that bring Toastmasters to Brazil 13 years ago. So that was the first step for us here. That is amazing. And now I know that Lucia is there. And today, with the internet and the pandemic happened, she could join us and make this fun session. Thank you so much, Lucia, again. And now I would like to invite Aletheia Mello, our timer, to share with us how was our speakers tonight and who is going to be able to be voted for the best table topic speaker. Aletheia Mello, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Alessandro. You are the best. So remind that all of us should do our speech in between 1 and 2 minutes. So Vanessa has delivered her speech in 2 minutes and 13 seconds. Alessandro almost over the time, 2 minutes and 29 seconds, because you have a maximum of 30 seconds, so you are okay. João in 1 minute and 47 seconds. Dona Neves in 1 minute and 15 seconds. Arthur in 1 minute and 33 seconds. Akiko in 1 minute and 17 seconds. Fábio in 1 minute and 45 seconds. Ricardo in 1 minute and 11 seconds. Lucia in 1 minute it's me. Sorry, it's me in 1 minute and 37 seconds. So all of us are able to be eligible. Thank you, Alessandro. Back to you.
Okay, thank you, Aletheia. So now I'd like to invite our vote counter, Bruno Rabelo, to share with you our pool with the name of the speakers tonight, and everyone can vote for the best prepared speech, for the best table topic speech, the impromptu speech. Please, Bruno, can you share with us the poll? Poll. Bruno,
It's
where
already
are you,
done.
my friend?
He's already done.
Done? Ah, so I
Yeah.
can't see. Okay, sorry. So guests can vote. And we have 1 minute for this voting. If we are done before, we are moving on with our meeting. And now, will you cast your votes? I'm going to move our meeting to the next session. That is the feedback from the evaluators. And we have tonight Vanessa Santos. She's evaluating Ricardo Ponzoni's speech. And as I mentioned before, Ricardo is our guest tonight. He's from Vila Olímpia. That's a club in São Paulo. And he's joining our club tonight during this pandemic. That's a great way to make new friends. And it's a pleasure to have you here, Ricardo. And now I would like to pass the word to our member, Vanessa Santos, to evaluate Ricardo. Vanessa, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Ricardo achieved the goal of his speech because he talked about his experience as mentee and also as a mentor. And he also didn't report on the content of the pathways about the mentorship. He really presented a story. I noticed that he connected with the audience by using storytelling. He did it very, very well. And also he did a very good use of gestures during his speech. There are only two small details that I think he could improve. That is the lighting of the room. There are some techniques you can use to avoid the reflection of the light in your glasses. I think one person of our club has made a video on it. I'll try to find it out and I'll send it to you if I find it. Also, sometimes during his speech, he was looking to the side. I'm not sure if he had the script beside the monitor or not. But overall, you spoke very naturally. I really liked your speech. I think everybody liked it. We connected with you. And the only thing that I want you to take as a challenge, if it was your script beside your monitor, is to really get rid of the script. Don't leave it there, so you don't have the option to look at it while you're delivering your speech. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you. I'd like to pass the word to Aletheia Melo, our timer, to share with us what was the time of Vanessa's evaluation.
Congrats, Vanessa. You had between 2 and 3 minutes, and you have done it in 2 minutes and 7 seconds. So you are very good evaluator. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Aletheia. Thank you so much.
Back to you, Elizabeth.
Okay, thank you. Now we are going moving to our third part of the meeting. After the feedback, we have our reports. And our first report now is from Akiko Yamagami, our accountant and grammarian. Please, Akiko, share with us how was our performance using the word of the day, our English, or our filler words. Please help me welcome Akiko. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster. So I am going to share my, not the accountant, but the grammarian side of report. Let me share my screen now. So let's start. So word of the day, bodacious. Sorry if I missed somebody's, but I only found Lucia, Miss Lucia used. And then second, good uses, mainly from speech of Ricardo. I picked up lots, so let me take my time too, because I was so fascinated. Like fostered by coaching, I really like that verb. I didn't use normally, so I want to use inspired by Ricardo. And these are the terms I want to follow. I want to use in my expression since today. Like it's gonna be so useful. In my personal case, or the concept I want to highlight is, or make them extremely proud. Overcome is my favorite verb I found from his speech. Overcome your challenges. And then this is from Lucia. Have butterflies in my stomach. Okay, maybe I can use next time when I have that prompt speech. And then it's from Alessandro. He tried to hit on her. Hit on is very simple phrase. If you don't know the meaning, you don't get the meaning. But even this can be considered as a slang, but it's useful for casual conversation. And then this is a very, very helpful thing. Desist, exist. This is the comment from the chat box, because Aritelia mentioned desist in her prompt speech, and she also mentioned, I don't know if this word is correct or not. And then someone, I believe author, sorry if I make a mistake, but somebody helped her after her speech. And then please let me know if I'm doing something wrong. But what I found is from speech from Ricardo. I believe he mentioned, what are you gaining with that? But I think instead of with, what are you gaining from that? I feel more natural. And then this is from the prompt speech from, I believe, Joan. I love it that much. I thought he said so. But if I were him, I would say I love it so or very much. That feels more natural for me. Okay, thank you. That is for my grammarian report. And then let's continue to my R-counter report. Thank you. Maybe I stop share my screen and then go on my report. Okay. So let's go. So my R-counter side of report start with Mr. Ricardo. I found you have one repeated word from your speech. And then next, evaluator, Vanessa. I found 6 repeated words from your evaluation. And then topic master, Lucia. I found 2 R's from you. And then table topic speech from Vanessa. I found 1 repeated word. And then from Alessandro, I couldn't find any filler words. And then Joan, I also couldn't find any filler words from your prompt speech. And then Donna Nevis, 0. I found 0 filler words. And then R2, author or R2. I found 3 R's and then 2 repeated words from your speech. And then my prompt speech, 3 members helped me, sent me the feedbacks. And I made 4 R sounds and 1 repeated sounds. And then Fabia, I found 2 R's sounds from you. And then Ricardo, from your prompt speech, I couldn't find any filler sound. And then Ariteia, from your prompt speech and timer, all included, I found 2 R's and 1 repeated sounds. I think I mentioned for everybody. Thank you. Back to you, Toastmasters. Toastmaster.
Okay, thank you so much, Akiko. Amazing report. I loved how you make this Toastmaster journey for you so pleasant to us to see. This is great to see how have you improved in the last 2 months since you become our member here in Brasília Toastmasters. Thank you so much for your report. And now I'm moving to our last report, not less important because we have many ways to improve. And now I would like to invite our friend that's in Portugal, Rui Henrique. And thank you again for joining us so late in Portugal and become our guest here in Brasília Toastmasters. Please help me welcome Rui Henrique, our general evaluator for this evening.
Good evening to all. The word of the day, bodacious. Was this a bodacious session? If we had the Toastmaster, maybe it should have been amazing, because I think he used and abused on the word amazing. Right, let me give you some feedback. It's great to be here. I'm going to give a general feedback in terms of the session and also feedback to those people who have not received feedback. So, great to see the amount of people that are here. Excellent. The energy that has come across and the camaraderie, the friendship that is involved. Great. I loved it. And especially became warm as the session moved on. Let me throw in a few points of improvement right up front. We have an agenda on Easy Speak, which is bilingual, and it's a very bit of a mix. So if you're going to have it on Easy Speak, it's an English session, keep everything to English. It does allow you to actually do that. One of the things I think is important for you guys to introduce is the function of meet and greet for the period leading up to the actual start of the session. Because when we arrived, we were sort of, hello, I'm joining. We should have had, in my opinion, and we do this at clubs in Portugal, we have someone with a specific function of saying, hello, how are you? Good to see you here, and things like that. It creates a bit of conversation. Alatea tried to do it for a while, and then Alessandro, when you arrived as Toastmaster, you did it very quick because you were running late to actually start the session. But have someone to do this function. And then build in what we also do during the actual meeting, a welcome part for the guests, where you give the opportunity for the guests for like 20-30 seconds to say why they're here, what they expect. I know you want to put it in the networking break, Alessandro, because we only had one speaker. You skipped the networking, you want to leave it to the end. But I've been to some of the sessions in Brazil, and the networking, sometimes people use it as a break to go off and do some necessities or catch a cup of coffee. So possibly bring in that segment where you actually give the chance of the speaking to the guest. Because I would have liked to know who Coach Eduardo Santana is. I would like to know why Donna Neves is saying she's not Florinda. Who is Toastmaster Area 8? You know, and that could have made conversation. You follow? And I would have done that immediately in the meet and greet if they were already here, or if I was conducting or giving them the opportunity for the welcome in the actual session itself. Alessandro, you encouraged people to join Toastmasters. You tell them how Toastmasters has been growing in Brazil, that there's corporate clubs, etc. You guys use this PowerPoint as an agenda to follow the agenda, to actually show the flow of the session. This is made easier online for people to watch with a PowerPoint presentation. It's an idea that you guys use. We don't do it in Portugal, but it's something to think about. However, talking about the actual PowerPoint itself, it became rather long when you were actually asked Alatea to explain the timer, and then you went through the other people and you then explained. So there was no consistency on your part, because then the R counter, the grammarian, the table topics master, and the general evaluator didn't explain their function. You did it. So possibly one of two ways. Either get everyone to quickly explain their function, so there's consistent opportunities to talk, or give none of them the opportunity and you just show the screen, let people see the full screen, and then you quickly explain it, and you can save time on that instead of doing one by one and not with the consistency. Something for you to think about. Then I've heard you speak on other occasions. You're doing a bit of what I'm doing now, monotone and at pace. Variety. Alessandro, I know you're an excellent speaker. I've seen you, as I said, in other sessions, and to create the vibe and to get people involved, use your vocal variety that you're so good at. It really caters for the session. Another thing, use pauses, because when you had finished passing about the word from the word of the day, you went straight into the prepared speeches, and that really was a completely different segment. So there needs to be a pause there. And again, I felt you were being rushed as far as that is concerned. Then avoid, obviously, at the end of a speech, commenting on the speech itself. You might pick up on what someone has said and use it as a transition onto something else, but you are not there as a evaluator to say whether the speech was amazing, whether I like this or not. Don't do that. In my opinion, you are in a different role. Then when you passed on to the R-counter grammarian word of the day at the end, you said, we're now moving to the third part, the reports. The third part actually started with the feedback of the evaluator to the first speech, because the parts are prepared speeches, table topics, and then feedback, which includes the report like mine now, and that of the R-counter timer, etc. Moving on to the table topic master, Lucia. Yes, Lucia. I liked the fact that you were very friendly. You brought an interesting topic, which was lovely for everyone to participate, and you basically hit the nail on the head, because everyone, I mean, just looking at Kiku, talking about the hamburgers of a 9th birthday party, other people really felt involved and actually were able to go back to their story. So the topic was lovely and perfect, and you had a good wrap up at the end. One of the things that you can improve is when you present the topic, the question is there with the picture, give it to the person instead of did you do this, did you do that, etc., because then you break the flow of the question that you've actually presented. I like the fact that at the end of the 3rd, the 6th, and the 9th speech, you actually commented to actually have a transition, but then you didn't do it in the others. So again, consistency. Where can you improve? Explain to us right up front why we do table topics, the importance of table topics for our lives, because you might be in an important meeting, called upon to intervene, and that is where we're coming to practice. Also, explain the times clearly to us and get your timer. They're showing me the cards now, and I'm going to boom out on the red very shortly. The point so that everyone knows what is expected, because there were some guests here and they don't know the time scheme and the fact that it's 1 minute the green and then the yellow at 1.5, the 2 at the red, and that they still have 30 seconds. So you can explain that slowly, etc. And also tell the speakers that they have some time to think before they start speaking, because this is something that a lot of the table topic speakers did. They went straight into it. Just give them a little moment to think so they can structure an idea and then flow with it, or even look at how they're going to conclude and build their particular speech. By the way, the word that Donna Nav and other people were looking back for was Snow White. Then the other thing is the speakers at the end, there's no need for you to say thank you. The people who thank are us with our applause. I've hit the red. I should shut up, but I'm going to continue because Alatea has asked me to come along. Alatea, in terms of timer, when you were given that privileged position to give the time that Alessandro explained the time up front that Alessandro asked you, you did it well. You explained the cards, and then you also gave the examples of the times that it would be for the prepared speech and for the table topics. Although there you could have been a bit clearer by saying the speech today, for example, is going to be a 5 to 7 minute speech. So I'm going to show the green card at 5 minutes, the yellow at 6, and the 7 at red with a 30 seconds tolerance. Or you could have used the table topics and saved time or helped out already for Lucia, possibly just thinking about it. Rather explain the table topics, because then when the table topic master comes, you've saved a bit of time. They can explain it again, but quicker, and that is the second time that it is being said. Love the fact that the way you've got your screen with your image in the corner, and there's very, very clear in terms of the color. So if you have an app or something like that, it's something that you should share. Then if someone goes over time like me, you know, possibly what we've done in one of the clubs, we've started to bring in a checkered flag, right? So as to say, you know, it's time, you've reached the finishing line. It's time for you to keep quiet, because we don't have the bell or something like that as in a club meeting as such. Okay, and then Alitea, I think we need to give Alitea a round of applause. Now you're going to ask why. I saw a first here at Toastmasters, and I've been to many sessions, live, in person, and online. And when I say hundreds, and it was the first time that I have seen someone be a table topic speaker and time their own speech. It's an absolute first. So there you take it. Akiko, for our word of the day, thank you for bringing it and explaining it with the PowerPoint. Point of improvement, possibly not have too much information on the actual PowerPoint where you've got the word of the day, especially if you're going to read it to us, because then you basically had us wanting to read ourselves and not listen to you. So to capture our attention, give us the essential, but you keep some of the extra juice for you to actually verbalize, even if you're reading it to us, but we can't see that. But if you give us everything and then you're going to read, I'm going to read quicker than you. The report, I love the fact that for your grammarian's report, you had a PowerPoint. Is this a standard at the club, or is this, Akiko, your PowerPoint? Is this a standard at the club?
Akiko did for the first time, I think.
Okay, this is something very, very interesting, because automatically you're showing and giving the feedback, and people can visualize it also. So it's actually very good. I love that idea. And it obviously showed that you were paying a lot of attention, especially when you picked up expressions like hit on her, have butterflies in my stomach, and the fact that you wanted to use it. So very good. And then obviously in the R counter report, giving the quantity. In terms of Vanessa as our evaluator, you were positive in terms of saying what you liked about the speech, and then you had 2 points of improvement. The 2 points of improvement were both technical, the issue of the lighting, and then the fact, the script, etc., that you had seen. Importance to actually comment more on the speech, or at least have points of improvement on the speech or the structure or something like that, than just the technical aspects. So for you to look into that. On the whole, it was great to be here. I've had a long day teaching, meetings. I had a club officers meeting, which finished 2 minutes before I joined you guys. So nevertheless, I thank you for listening to me, for allowing me to hit the red and continue talking. It's a pleasure to be here. Alitea knows that on a Saturday, it's impossible for me to join you because I have teaching commitments. But on a Thursday, now and again, even at this time, I will join you gladly. So thank you for having me. I shouldn't be saying thank you. I do. Okay, go for it.
Okay, thank you so much, Rui. It's a pleasure for us to have you here. It's not the first time, as you mentioned, and you always bring great improvement to us and to everyone here. I hope that the members and guests that knew Rui for the first time tonight get really great feedback from him and improve that in your club either, because he has a lot to learn or to share with us, and you can learn with that. I would like now to invite everyone that's here to just open your camera so you can have our picture of this meeting. And I always like to remember to look into your camera, inside of your lens, and not at your eyes in the screen, because your eyes not going to be looking at us. So I'm moving to our grid view and our guests. Bruno Moraes, I'm not sure if you are there. Ricardo Costa, Marta. And Bruno Rabelo, are you there? If not, I'm going to hide the non-video participants. Okay, hiding you now. Amazing. Okay, let's just count until 3. I'm going to take 3 pictures, and you can bring your best smile to us. 1, 2, 3. Okay, guys, thank you so much. And now I'm going to share with you who was the best tabletop speaker for this evening. and for this meeting, and drums roll, because we have a huge tie here tonight, and we have Vanessa Santos, Dona Neves, not Florinda, and Ricardo Punzoni, our best tabletop speakers for this evening. Congratulations for you. That was amazing. And tonight we have only one prepared speech and one evaluator. So we have as the best evaluator, Vanessa Santos. Thank you, Vanessa, again for great feedback. That was amazing. I hope Ricardo can improve a lot with your feedback. And our best speaker for this night is Ricardo Punzoni from Vila Olímpia in São Paulo. Thank you so much, Ricardo, for joining us, and congratulations for your best speaker for this evening. As I mentioned before, I'm closing the meeting in English. I'm going to start our final announcements and guest speaks in Portuguese. My name is Alessandro Dias. Thank you so much for joining us. And now I wrap this meeting and move for our final announcements in Portuguese. Oops, sorry. Em vez de eu parar de falar em inglês, eu parei a apresentação. Peraí, desculpa. Pessoal, teremos um evento coletivo no dia 30 de outubro. Estamos chamando de Happy Toast. Rui, fica aqui um convite para você também. Eu sei que eu tenho vários compromissos aí na sua cidade, com seus alunos também. Qual que é a ideia, pessoal? É tentar criar um ambiente mais descontraído, que não seja só formalmente uma reunião. Não sabemos como será, mas teremos algumas participações especiais, curtas, com piadas, alguns discursos como se fossem algumas histórias, mas todas curtinhas, de 2 a 3 minutos, e no geral a gente poder se conhecer um pouco mais. O começo, a ideia era fazer essa reunião com clubes da área 8, que seriam clubes de Brasília, Palmas e Belo Horizonte, mas a gente achou melhor realmente expandir esse convite para a gente ter mais pessoas, inclusive convidados também, que não sejam de algum clube Toastmasters, que possam se unir a gente e participar, para a gente se conhecer um pouco mais. É um ambiente que vocês podem conversar mais descontraído e trazer dúvidas que com certeza vão ajudar todos a conhecerem mais nós mesmos e o próprio Toastmasters. Então, no dia 30 de outubro, sexta-feira da semana que vem, 19 horas, horário de Brasília, uma reunião online que em breve nós vamos compartilhar o link com vocês. No dia 31 de outubro, às 13h30, horário de Brasília, teremos a final nacional do Campeonato de Debates do Toastmasters Brasil. Teremos um representante aqui de Brasília, da área 8, Rodrigo Ramos. Ele estará competindo junto com a Juliane na semifinal de duplas contra a Ângela e o Clécio. Se o Rodrigo e a Júlia ganharem, eles avançam para a final no mesmo dia, que começa às 3h30 da tarde do sábado, dia 31 de outubro. Tem sido sensacional participar dos debates. Eu fui um dos competidores aqui da área 8 e da área 6 também. É uma experiência nova para todos nós aqui do Toastmasters Brasil. Para vocês que não conhecem, eu sugiro que vocês possam participar, conhecer um pouco mais. E já deixo aqui um spoiler que está rolando para os clubes aqui de Brasília e das áreas próximas também. Está sendo fundado o primeiro clube exclusivamente de debates do Toastmasters Brasil. Na semana que vem, dia 29, que vai ser uma quinta-feira também, teremos uma reunião exclusiva com os debatedores de um clube que vai ser focado em desenvolver pessoas que se interessam por debates. Depois a gente vai passar novos detalhes. E a nossa próxima reunião é a reunião em português, já no dia 7 de novembro, a nossa primeira reunião do mês. Lembrando que nós temos 4 reuniões, 2 em português, 2 em inglês. Essa será no sábado à tarde, com o nosso check-in inicial 2h40 e a reunião começando às 3 horas em ponto. Lembrando que ainda será online, porque o Toastmasters Brasil ainda não permite que a gente se encontre presencialmente, mas ao mesmo tempo expande as possibilidades para que a gente possa encontrar e receber pessoas de todos os lugares do mundo. Pessoal, muito obrigado. Somos o Brasília Toastmasters e eu quero agora, em nome do nosso clube, agradecer a todos vocês que participaram com a gente. Aqui a Vanessa como avaliadora, o Ricardo, nosso orador da noite, o Bruno, contador de votos, a nossa timer, a Letéia, o Rui Henrique, diretamente de Portugal, aqui com a nossa gramática, e a Luzia, nossa tabletop master do Clube da Del. E eu queria agora abrir espaço para nossos convidados que possam tirar dúvidas, que possam conversar um pouco com a gente, que vocês possam realmente trazer algo que a gente possa ajudá-los a entender melhor um pouco sobre o Toastmasters. Quem precisa sair, eu sei que para o Rui está tarde. Rui, muito obrigado. Se quiser deixar uma palavra final, por favor, o microfone sempre vai estar disponível para você.
Yes, Alessandro, I want to go back into the English and I want to speak to Donna Neves. First of all, where did you pick up that English accent? Great, lovely English. Is an American influence?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
And so you've spent time in the States or watching American sitcoms or what? How did you pick up the English?
Okay. So I lived in America for 2 years and a half. I just came back from the city called Kansas City in Missouri. I lived there for 2 years and a half. Currently, I'm here in Brazil, but I have plans to go back in a few months. And yes, that's where my accent come from.
Great. Okay, good. And why on your name you've got Não Florinda?
To be honest, I'm so embarrassed about my nickname because, okay, so this nickname I picked up many years ago.
So is your name Donna? Your name is Donna?
No. My name is Priscila and my last name is Neves. And I used to watch Chaves. I don't know if you know Chaves. It was a show, Mexican show that used to play on the Brazilian TV for a long time. And I used to watch that a lot. And one of the characters were called Donna Neves. And my last name is Donna Neves. And it was a time when I used to use Twitter for a long time. And I didn't want to put my name. I didn't want to, just show up and put my face on it. So I used her picture, Donna Neves' picture, in this nickname. So it was a long time ago, and now I'm surprised because I see Donna Neves, not Florinda here. It was just kind of like to say, I'm the character called Donna Neves, not Florinda. Kind of like ridiculous, but that's how it came up.
Okay, thank you for sharing. You see, what I've just done is a little bit of the meet and greet. This is something that you could have done. Okay, Donna Neves did arrive a little bit later. Okay, but picking up on these things and you engage in conversation, and instead of like, you follow? Right, so to the other guests, welcome. Oh, we've just got Alex McCarney joining us. Hi.
Hello, Alex.
We're about to start our session. We're having a speakerthon. We're just having the networking break now. So would you like to do a table topics for us? 1 to 2 minutes. Are you ready? Our timer will count.
I've been talking all this time, but I've been mute. Pardon me. Yeah, lay it on me.
Right. So your table topic is going to be given by Lucia because she was our table topics master. And it's got to do with something about your childhood memories. So Lucia, what's the topic? It's movies, etc. we've had. What's the next one?
Hey, Alex. Tell us a funny story about your childhood. Maybe something like learning to ride a bike or something like this.
Okay, well, I've got one where I almost fell down an outhouse. I don't know if you know what an outhouse is, but that's one of those things that they build and they put in the back. And I'm from Canada, so we were taking this cross-country trip. And my mother thought that she had lost me down the outhouse hole. It was horrible. She was so frightened because I had to do my business. I went in there. She turned her back, but I went the other way. Now, this is Lake Superior. I don't know if you know the Great Lakes in Canada, but they're pretty big. They're almost like seas. So she was just freaked out. Now, thankfully, I had my little walkie-talkie, but I couldn't hear anything at all from anything that anybody was saying. It was pretty frightening for her. But for me, it was very funny. So this is a humorous thing, but I got into all kinds of scrapes like that. Another Canadian story is that my father dropped me off at the ice hockey rink where I was going to play, but it was closed. And I didn't realize that, so I started to walk home all the way in my ice skates. That's pretty painful. And here's another funny story. It's not too funny. Oh, thankfully it is. I still have all my fingers. But when I was playing hockey in the backyard, one of my friends ran over my fingers with his skate. I got into a lot of scrapes that way. I don't know if there's anybody timing me. It's supposed to be 1 to 2 minutes. So if anybody says, oh, it's 1 or 2 minutes, cut me off and I'll be glad to climb up and hand it back over to you, Madam Table Toppers.
Thank you. Great story.
You see, great storyteller. And we were so enthralled at the time I said, no, I've already done my job. Thank you for sharing.
Amazing, Rui. Thank you so much. Alex, have you joined from somewhere that invited you? Have you joined us from Easy Speak? I think.
Oh, this is cool. It's Brasília, Português, but you know.
Okay, tonight's our English meeting.
Actually, I got a couple of. That's it. Well, I'm glad because that language I can kind of figure out. You know, I speak it a little.
Yes, for sure. Thank you. That was an amazing speech. So, any our guests here would like to share another story or ask questions for us to help you understand best Toastmasters? Ricardo, Marta, even Donna. Are you from Toastmasters Club, Donna Neves, or no?
Hey, I'm back. So I've participated of 2 or 3 Toastmasters back in Kansas City, but it was 1.5 years ago. Okay. So I thought about I may join them, but I ended up not doing this because I had other plans. But now I'm thinking about join this again.
Great, amazing. It's great because I'm sure that you have dozens of clubs in Kansas, so we have a lot of opportunities there. That's amazing about United States or Europe, like Rui, because they have many clubs there, and that's one of our dreams here in Brazil, to make Toastmasters so big that you can share that with many of our citizens here, because we have millions of people and until now almost 40 clubs. So any of our guests that would like to know more about how to open a club or to join a club, just talk to us. It's going to be a pleasure to have you understand that better. So Arthur, you have any questions? If you want, you can ask that in Portuguese, no problem.
Okay, I'm just going to say goodbye, Arthur, and everyone else. Sorry to cut in. Keep well. Okay. See you sometime soon. Aletheia, keep me in touch.
Okay, thank you so much, Rui.
Lovely. And Lucia, send me an invite to go to Dell one of these days. Okay.
Adios.
Amazing.
Cheers. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Rui. Yeah, Alessandro. Well, first I just want to thank all of you. This was a great session, my first session of Toastmasters, but it was great, and it was even, well, I wasn't actually going to participate. This wasn't planned, but Lucia invited me, and then, well, I said, okay, I'll go for it. And then I received this feedback, and that was great. The volume of feedback that I received, well, most indirect feedback, but well, a lot of feedback that I can work on later on. So that was great. Well, one question that I have for you is about the speech, the first speech, not the impromptu one, the one, because it caught my attention that you had this path there in the PowerPoint, and so I wanted to know what is a path? What is it? Do you have many paths, or how do you choose this? How do you choose what to speak about?
That's a great question, Arthur. I'd like to say to you that Toastmasters, I mentioned, you can join as a guest at every meeting that we have in these community clubs. And when you join our club or any club as a member, you have access for the educational program in Toastmasters. This program happened to be here in the world for almost 100 years. So that's a proven work system that can help you a lot. We have now, I think, 12 paths, and all of them develop different skills that you choose to develop yourself. So the one that Ricardo chose was the dynamic leadership, I think. And you can choose like humor path. You have visionary communication, that's the one that I'm doing. And inside the path, you have 5 levels, and each of these levels have different speech to deliver. The content of the speech you can choose. That's the great thing I really like about Toastmasters, because you can use what you have in your mind, but you use the knowledge from Toastmasters experience as a member. So when you deliver a speech, we always evaluate your performance and not the content of your speech, unless you don't use the project itself to build your speech. That's why you have evaluators being evaluated to know if them are really paying attention for what, like in this example, Ricardo was trying to deliver tonight. So the idea of how was being a mentee. So you can choose that path, and inside of that, you can, after you finish that, you can start another one. If you want, you can use 2 together and choose different projects from each of them, okay? So one path you have, I think, almost 20 speeches itself, but during that time, you are going to be here in meetings like this one, performing roles. You can be the accountant, the timer, the Toastmaster of the evening, like myself. And the idea is to help someone. I just shared a screenshot with Aletheia a minute ago. And we have, I think, 8 people tonight here in this meeting. And all of them is here for Ricardo to help him improve. But at the same time, Ricardo is delivering this speech. So every one of these 8 people can improve as leaders, deliver their time and their skills as timer, accountant, evaluators, and the other one. So I hope this can answer your question. And Toastmasters is a lot more than people think. That's why you have open clubs, so everyone can join and understand that better. Let me see here in this chat if you have any question. Okay, Alex. Oh, yes, I forgot to mention, Alex, great reminder. Today is the 94th anniversary of Toastmasters. The first club was opened, I think, in 1924, I think, or 26, I'm not sure now. And that was 24. That's amazing. So in 4 years, we have the first century for Toastmasters around the globe. So, Dona Neves, I don't know if you're there, if you have any questions. Ricardo Costa. Fabia, sure, please.
Sorry, I have one question. I'm interested in joining the Brasília Toastmasters Club. So what is the next step? And sorry, I have a question to Alex as well. I just wondering if you are a huge Canadien de Montréal fan.
Alex.
Oh my God, that's my team. Unfortunately, they're not doing so well, but
yeah, this year was kind of shame, but maybe next year.
They're the best. The Habs. Are you? You said Canadien de Montréal.
Pardon?
Wow.
I spent half of my life in Montreal, so
great.
Yeah, but yeah, that's the reason why
I'm trying to the chat, and you guys are all welcome to join my.
Thank you.
Great, Alex. You can share with us. Is a
unfortunately, my sound is breaking up. I don't have a very stable connection.
No problem. I was in Canada in 2001, and I was in Vancouver for 3 months. That was an amazing trip. I was in love with the city. I always wanted to go back, and I couldn't until now, but it's still in the top of my list of places that I would love to live and spend the rest of my life. So Fabia, your question about on how to join a Toastmasters club, and especially Brasília Toastmasters, the process is the same for everyone, so I'm going to speak, and the answer is can be used for everyone. When you decide to join a Toastmasters club, you just leave your contact with us, and we have someone that is our VPM, is Rejane Reis. She's responsible to fill up with you the form of the member and to share with you the first information about our club and the fees that we need to pay each 6 months. I don't know if you know that, but for every Toastmasters club in the world, we have a $45 fee. So the price is the same in any club that you join. Some clubs like Brasília Toastmasters, actually many of the clubs have small fees to just make the club alive. So we have to pay the Zoom account. In our meeting room in Brasília, we need to pay for cleaning, we need to buy coffee for the break and some small things, but the idea is just for that. So Rejane is going to share with you the price. If you are joining now in the end of October, we are going to pay just 5 months from November until March of the next year, and in March you can renew for new 6 months. So I just share with you a link here in our chat, or if you like, you just can send your email and WhatsApp number to myself here in the chat, and I can put you in contact with Rejane. She will be a pleasure to join us and help you understand better our club. Okay, Ricardo, I don't think Ricardo is here.
I would like to say a few words if I...
Are you guys talking to me? I've had a problem. Sorry.
Okay,
okay, João,
I would like
please.
to thank you the opportunity to come. I got the link from the WhatsApp group from my club. I appreciate it. I had a lot of fun with everything, you guys, and also would like to give the invitation to you to join our meeting. It usually happens Tuesdays, the first Tuesday and the last Tuesday of the month. I always confused. I am the VPM, new in the position, but I'm always messing with the dates. So 27 October, we have our next meeting happen at the same time at yours, 7:30. So I would like to invite all of you. I think Aletheia is in contact with Ellen, so she can send you the link. I really appreciate the opportunity. I had a great time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, João. Then you delivered a great speech.
Thank you.
Ricardo, if you want to say something.
Yes, I want to say something. I want to also thank for the invite for Aletheia. And that was this week, so it was pretty fast. And thank you again, and congratulations for your meeting. It's different from ours in some ways, but it's good to see the difference between clubs and the good ideas that you can get. So congratulations for your meeting. May I send the email of our club if you want to join us as a guest on the chat? It's okay? So
sure.
Please contact me, contact our email to become our guest, and we meet on Mondays at the same time.
Amazing, Ricardo. Thank you so much. It's going to be a pleasure. Aletheia is our voice with other clubs here as our VPE, and she always shares with our chat, with our WhatsApp group, other meetings when you need someone to help and to join special meetings and any other meetings. So it should be a pleasure to have you share with us your agenda. Okay, Ricardo, are you there? Do you have any questions, Donna Neves?
Yeah, I'm not sure if you mentioned that before because I was out for a little bit. Just want to know if the meetings are always in English or it's a mix between Portuguese and English. How does it work?
Okay, great questions. Our club is bilingual, so we have 4 meetings each month, and 2 of them are in Portuguese and 2 is in English. The idea is to help if you want to improve the language of in English. And of the members that don't know English or don't have the guts to just deliver speech in English, they can join the meeting just to practice active listening until they get confident and start to deliver speeches. But any Toastmasters in the world, many of them are in English. In Brazil, we have most of the club in Portuguese, but as many of them are corporate clubs, they are in English. So if you want to join a exclusive Portuguese club, you have this here in Brazil. And with the online clubs, if you are like in Kansas again, and you like to join our club or the club, you have hybrid clubs that they have online and in-person meetings, and they have both in English and Portuguese. So the idea is to make that happen. Our next meeting is going to be in Portuguese.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Alex não fala português. Okay, Alex. I read a meme today. I really like that. I'm going to share with you because what Alex said reminded me about that. Let me just get it here. This is okay. Okay, one minute. This is really fun because that's how some people from.
I know a little bit of samba though. I can do a little bit of samba.
Oh, amazing! This is I post a friend from Mozambique share with me, and this the idea is why Spanish spoken in Brazil so different and unintelligible. I do believe that many people don't know that we speak Portuguese.
That's funny. That's very funny. Well, it's funny because I had a friend from Cuba, and he was telling me that Portuguese is like Spanish, but it's Spanish baby talk. It's not the way the babies talk. I didn't understand that, but I guess the way that it's pronounced and all that. But also, it's funny because the Portuguese in Brazil and the Portuguese in
Portugal,
you know, in Europe, or Azores are so different.
Yeah, we have it.
But I prefer Brazilian.
Great. And it's nice to say, I forgot to mention for our guests and members from clubs in Toastmasters, Rui Rodrigues, that was here. He is the main person in the Toastmasters Pathways translation program. Rui with his
great,
fiancée, yes, he is responsible for the translation, most of the pathways in Toastmasters. I think he got someone in Brazil to help him. I think I forgot her name. He's from São Paulo, Toastmasters, the other girl. But that's really nice how someone can help such a tough job for free just to help others to have the path in Portuguese.
Yeah. Well, our district does the French translations.
Great.
I want to know if Rui is Brazilian.
No, he is Portuguese.
Yeah, very Portuguese name.
Yeah, he's from. I think he's from Africa.
He's from South Africa.
South Africa,
yes. But he lives in Portugal now.
I will need to apologize, but just want to say thank you. And Alex, I already sent you an email because I want to participate in your club meeting as well. So for for everybody else, thanks for today, and see you in the next clubs.
Okay, thank you, Lucia. Thank you so much. I'm still waiting the invite for Del. I know that's not easy to join Del Club, but if you have the opportunity, please just drop a line in our WhatsApp.
Yes, we are planning to do some open meetings like for once a month, but it's not in place yet. It will take some time.
I know, no problem at all.
Thank you.
I just got your email, Louisa. I was able to open up my email. I'm going to put the information in the chat as well, but it's also in my response.
Okay.
Thank you, Alex. Are your meetings in French or in English, Alex?
Yeah, no worries. Well, we have meetings in French or English, whatever you'd like to have. The ones that I tend to go to are in English, but I was just at one that was in French. So that's
great. This is really amazing how this COVID-19 brings such amazing opportunity to join and know people from different places. The first meeting that I joined, I think, was in Iraq, in Baghdad, Toastmasters. They have a huge club there.
Whoa.
And they have English meetings. They speak a great English. That's amazing to see how they perform within English. And one thing that I think was interesting to see is that they have clubs in Mozambique. It's a Portuguese language country, but they have only English club there. And they were amazed that they could join our club one day to deliver a speech in Portuguese. And one of the feedback that the speaker got was that the evaluator felt that he was nervous about delivering speech in his native language, that was Portuguese, for the first time. So that was really nice to see. And the pandemic bring this opportunity for the first time for them. That was really nice to see how that happened.
Absolutely. And I've been to some in South Africa and also in other places in Africa, New Zealand, Australia. They have some really great clubs, really fun, and very open, very warm clubs.
Great. Alex, this time here, 16 p.m. is from what time zone?
Well, that's Eastern time. So what time are you? It's like New York City time.
Now it's 9:25.
Okay, now it's 8:25 for me.
So 1 hour early.
So you're just an hour ahead.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Amazing, amazing.
What time do you have now?
Me, I'm at 8:25, 20:25.
And Akiko, sorry.
I'm from Japan, but
I'm in Brasília.
I mean, I live in Brazil. I'm in Brasília. Yeah.
Because I would like to say that I'm always when I'm looking at the sunset, I like to think that someone in Japan is looking at the sunrise at the same time. When I look at the sunset,
that's right. That's exactly right.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great. So Friday. So tomorrow we have meetings in Alex Club. So everyone that would like to join.
I got
Yes,
tomorrow
Alex
or Saturday
Club
as well.
Yeah. So it's tomorrow 5 p.m. I think in our time here. Right? 5 p.m. or 8 p.m.?
Yeah, that's 7. Right.
That's 1 hour early.
No, it would be.
It would be 7
you're
p.m.
at 9.
here.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay,
right.
So tomorrow night
that's a good time for you guys.
Yes, we have a meeting with Alex, guys. If you want to join, the link is in our chat.
It's really fun. It's in
New York
City. It's great.
Tomorrow is in English, right?
All the ones that I put are in English.
Great.
Everything's in English.
My French is just for the bread.
I would like to attend one in French.
Okay, well, I can give you French ones too. There's one that I was just. Hang on, I'll try to find that.
Great. Toastmasters, the new voice club.
Guys, I need to leave now, so thank you.
Arthur, great, thanks so much. If you would like to share your contact with us.
Yes, I just shared with Matteo.
Okay, great, Arthur, thanks so much. See you.
Hey guys, I gotta go too.
Next session.
It was a pleasure again. Good evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, João. Thank you so much.
Hope to see you in our meetings.
Yes.
Sure.
As you said, like online format bring this opportunity. Thank you so much again.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thank you, João. See you.
See you.
Fabio, this is the first time that you join our meeting?
No, actually this is the second time. I joined you the English meeting as well. I think it was in January or February, and then the pandemic came. So But anyways.
So I think we met here. That's why I thought I knew you, because I didn't invite you to as a guest tonight because I thought you were from the Toastmasters Club.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, you have a good memory though.
Yeah, Fabio Bueno. I have this name in my mind, and I think she's from our club, any club, I think.
He's a photographer. So
Yeah,
I think that helps.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, good memory. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Akiko. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it, and I hope to join the club this year.
For sure, Fabio. It's a pleasure to have you. Rejan's going to get in touch with you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
So there's one in French. It's called Leader en action. Bye.
Bye.
Leaders en action for French. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can find it through Easy Speak.
Mm-hmm.
Well, guys, I had a lot of fun. I'm glad that I was able to go in. I guess it was because of the time difference, because I clicked on it and it was taking forever. And I thought, oh, maybe you weren't having it tonight, but I'm glad you did. So you have my email address. So if you want to put me up for invitations, I'd appreciate that.
Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.
That was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. Cheers.
Cheers.
Bye, guys.
Ok, so... encontrei aqui, Vanessa. Vou te passar aqui, ó. Leaders in Action. Passei para você aqui no chat. Easy Speaker? É quase um Google.
O inglês não? De amanhã?
É só buscar o nome aqui. Ricardo, se você tiver aí e quiser fazer alguma pergunta em português agora, Ricardo.
Fica à vontade.
O Alex caiu, acho que pelo Easy Speak, provavelmente, né? Eu perguntei, mas acho que ele não entendeu.
Eu fiquei curiosa também.
Deve ser.
E eu jurando que eu já tinha visto ele no Everywhere, porque americano é meio tudo igual.